Hello! In this video I will be discussing the character Mordred. Mordred is known best as the treacherous son-nephew that kills beloved King Arthur. But Mordred's role in Arthurian myth was not always this, and has continued to change. What has become of this famous villain? To begin, it's important to note Mordred's family. In Sir Thomas Malory's tale, Mordred is the result of an incestuous affair between King Arthur and his sister. To be fair, Arthur was not aware of the familiar relationship to King Lot's wife, Morgause, or in some tales, Anna. Interestingly, Mordred's role as a villain was created by Geoffrey of Monmouth and expanded by Malory. In the Welsh text, Annals Cambrai, Mordred was simply a man who fell on the battlefield alongside Arthur. In a later Welsh text, The Dream of Rhombau, Mordred is the nephew to Arthur, where bad blood erupts due to a rather rude messenger. It is in Historiam Regnum Britannicum where Mordred truly takes on the role of a villain. In this version, he is just the nephew to King Arthur, but conspires to take the throne from him, along with successfully marrying Queen Guinevere. According to Sir Malory, Mordred's role as a villain is determined by fate. Merlin prophesies that, quote, he that should destroy him, King Arthur, should be born on May Day, end quote. Thus, King Arthur sends for all the Lord's sons to be put on a ship to sea. But as fate would have it, the ship comes across a castle, and Mordred was saved from near death, but all the other sons died. In Malory's tale, Mordred and Sir Agravain led the charge to catch Lancelot and the Queen together. Sir Mordred, along with the others, accused Lancelot of being a traitor knight. Rather hypocritical, since not too long after these events, Mordred will claim the throne himself and try to marry Guinevere, but I guess we can say it's all part of his evil plot. Mordred has continued to appear in modern retellings of the Arthurian myth, and even as a villain in other forms of media. In the animated Justice League series, Mordred appears as a prepubescent boy whose mother is Morgana Le Fay. In this, Morgana keeps her son permanently young until they can rule over the world. Mordred in this, understandably, is immature and is unable to do anything without the support of his mother. Nancy Springer writes about Mordred in her young adult novel, I Am Mordred. In a new take of the myth, Mordred tries to fight his destiny. Springer paints a story of a young boy who simply wishes to be loved, but has a prophecy hanging over his head. In Springer's novel, she portrays the idea that no one is born evil, rather circumstances and events cause people to do evil things. In the end, however, Mordred still kills Arthur and causes the collapse of Camelot. In other mainstream films, I'd argue that Mordred has taken second place as Arthur's main enemy. The current trend is to have Morgana Le Fay as the main enemy, using the trope of women plus magic equals evil, or other types of pagan magic users. In 1960, the musical Camelot came out on Broadway, with Roddy McDowall playing as Mordred. This musical is based on T.H. White's The Once and Future King. Mordred is the main villain, arranging for Lancelot and Guinevere's affair to come to light, and trying to steal the throne from King Arthur. Mordred arrives in the second act, immediately wishing to replace Arthur as king, being a classic villain in this incarnation. His role as villain never changes when Mordred's present in the story. In the retellings, Arthur always seems to be doomed to die by Mordred's hands. Mordred's personality is his hatred for Arthur and his wish for him to die, which is rather two-dimensional, honestly. He remains relatively the same in modern retellings, except for the notable incarnations I mentioned earlier. Mordred is Arthur's foil, his downfall, and the representation of Arthur's past mistakes and sins. Mordred uses the ideals of knightly virtues to his own advantage, and he helps bring down the downfall of Camelot. If you're interested in learning more about Mordred, you can check out the first 4 links I have posted. If you're more interested in a literary analysis of Mordred and events surrounding him, check out the JSTOR articles at the bottom. Here's my works cited. This concludes my video. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day.